Good morning, this is Destiny checking in with today's Daily Diamond. Hey family, as always, I would like to say welcome to anybody who is new and checking out my podcast. At this point, you done just missed out. But we welcome you anyway. And hey again to those of you who've been with me and supporting me since the jump. I absolutely thank you for all of the love, all of the support, and all of the downloads. As you all know, this week is the 3-month anniversary of the podcast, and I'm doing my absolute freaking best to get my baby to 2,000 downloads. So make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and comment. If you're on iTunes, make sure you give me a rating and a review on iTunes. I really need it, and I really appreciate it. You know that before we jump into today's topic, I have to thank my sponsors. So first we have our up-and-coming braider, Lisha. She has been very busy. Make sure you check her out for your buns, your braids, your ponytails, your curls. Just check that baby out and make sure you let her know that Destiny sent you. Then, of course, you know we have Kisses by Shelly. Kisses by Shelly is now offering a lash and lip gloss bundle deal. Make sure that you check out my absolute favorite lip gloss. At this point, I got about 10 of them, so I must be formerly addicted. And then, you know, we have my best friend, Tiana Nate. She has a YouTube channel. She just posted a video earlier this week, so make sure that you check her out. View all of her videos, like, subscribe, share, and comment. She needs the support as well. And then, you know, we have Simply Susie's Creations. Simply Susie's Creations has breast cancer shirts for the month of October. She offers your custom distressed t-shirts, bleached t-shirts, sweatshirts, and sweaters. Make sure you check out Simply Susie's Creations and let her know that Destiny sent you. And then last but not least, we have the Royal Crown Extensions, the only hair I wear. Sade is now offering bonnets, wigs, bundles, closures, and lashes. She is definitely in her bag. Make sure you check out Royal Crown Extensions. All of the ladies that I've shouted out will be in the description below. So make sure you scroll down, follow them on Instagram, like, subscribe, share, comment, give them all the love and all the support in the world. And as always, let them know that Destiny sent you. Now on to today's topic. So today's topic is kind of a revamp of one that I've done, but I feel like, you know, it's nothing wrong with a revamp. It's nothing wrong with going back and checking on something again and or revisiting a topic, because with me having 50 plus episodes, who knows if you ever heard the first one. So if you've been rocking with me since day one, it's a little bit of a recap, so I apologize. But for those of you who ain't been tuning in and ain't been listening, then here we go. So today's topic was one that was suggested by a listener. So the topic for today was love and relationships. And this one is a young person, so it kind of reminds me of my relationships in the youth post, but I'm going to try to mix it up a little bit. So bear with me. So love and relationships. If you are a young person, meaning like you 21 and under, I don't even think you need to really focus on love in a relationship. I don't think that young people necessarily have the capacity or have the time to be in love. I just don't. I really don't. When you are somewhere between 15 and 21, you are trying to live your best life. And I would not, if I was you, be trying to be tied down in a relationship with someone, or, you know, trying to be all in love and trying to build a family and trying to build a foundation if I was that young. If you are young and you are listening, go out there and live your life. You know, finish high school, travel, go to college, get some experiences. You know, excuse me. I'm not saying that you can't have a relationship, but don't feel like you need to have all this pressure to be in a relationship. You do not have to have all of these labels and titles and things when you're this young. Man, at 21, 20, I was having a really good time. And it wasn't that I wasn't dating my husband, because I was. But I wasn't looking at that time in particular to spend the rest of my life with him. We loved each other, true enough. We lived together, true enough. Well, at that time, no, we didn't. But, you know, we've lived together, true enough. But we were both still having fun. We were in a relationship, but he was doing his thing on the weekend with his boys, you know, and I was still hanging out and having fun with my girls. Didn't mean that people weren't being honest. It didn't mean that the relationship wasn't monogamous. But we were still having a really good time. I don't know what it is in our society, especially with young girls, where we put them in this predicament where we want them to rush. We want them to rush to be a mother. We want them to rush to be a wife. We want them to rush to be successful. No, greatness takes time. So if you're one of my young listeners out there, Don't feel like you need to rush. You don't need to rush into a relationship. You don't need to rush into love. You don't need to rush into anything that is not necessarily about you. It's okay to be selfish with yourself, especially when you're young. Be selfish with yourself. Be selfish with your time. Be selfish with your dreams and your goals. When I was 18, 19, 20, I used to create, and I think I mentioned this before, but I used to create like a goal list. And that is what I was literally focused on at that time. I could have cared less about a relationship. Doesn't mean I didn't date. Doesn't mean I didn't engage in, short stints with people. But I really wasn't ready mentally and or emotionally and or just in general to be in a relationship. So don't feel like if you're a young person that you have this need to rush. You don't have this need to rush. You don't have to hurry up and be labeled. You don't have to hurry up and be categorized. You don't have to hurry up and do nothing. Take your younger years to be in love with yourself, to set yourself up so that you can later be successful in life. Don't feel like you got to rush and be in love in a relationship. Have fun. I'm not saying go out here and get busy. That's not what I'm saying. If you're doing that, be careful and make the right decisions and make the best choices, but have fun. Hang out with your friends. Go clubbing. Enjoy being a young person because, baby, I would trade being 30 for being 20 or like 17 at any time. Because at like 17, my mama was still responsible for me. I had a little bit of freedom. I was a junior in high school, senior in high school, so I thought I was doing it big. And my mama was still financially responsible for all of my life. I would trade it at any time. I don't know why young people want to be grown so bad. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Stay where you are, enjoy your youth, and understand that in terms of love, and or relationships, it ain't no rush. Don't do it. Now, on to those of us, including myself, who are over the age of 21 and have at this time or at this point, most of my friends are married, have been engaged in a relationship and have talked about love and or are in a bad place or in a trial or a tribulation. Love and relationships don't get no easier. It is a everyday effort. It is a everyday battle. It is an everyday task to be in a relationship, especially once you've gotten some years up under your belt. I say it all the time. I'm not ashamed to say it. I've been with my husband since I was 19 years old, and now I'm 30. So our relationship now at 30 and 33 is a lot different than it was at 19 and 22. It was a lot different at 25 and 28 than it is now. We're 2 kids into the game. We have built some things financially that are for both of our benefits. And so love and relationships, once you've been with somebody for a while and you're married and you're engaged in, actual life goals and life tasks and life dreams, is a whole different ballgame. One thing that I've learned about being with my husband this long, and this is for anybody who, is freshly married or y'all boyfriend and girlfriend, you engaged, you thinking about it, is that your love will change. I can honestly tell you the reasons that I love my husband now are not the reasons that I loved him then. The way in which I love him now are not the ways in which I loved him then. And that's not to say that we didn't experience our own storm and that there wasn't a point in time in our marriage where we thought this thing wasn't going to work. There definitely has been. I am sure that the more time that we spend together, it won't be the only time where we question whether or not we're good for each other or whether or not we need to be with each other. I'm sure that will happen because that happens in relationships. But when we're talking about love and relationships, love when you grown and you married and you got a family and you done built some things, love is completely different. So this part is not for these young folks, because that love that y'all got talking about or y'all think y'all have, that ain't what I'm speaking of at this point. Once you've gotten grown and you've been married and you've been with someone and you've established a lifestyle, you've established a way of living, you've established a routine and some rituals as a group and as a family, you gotta weigh this thing out. You really have to weigh this thing out. You really have to know that what you all planned for each other way back when is what you need to hold on to. What you are wanting to accomplish way back when is what you need to hold on to. Your love is going to change. Your love is going to grow. Your love is going to transition with the test of time. But understand that love and relationships are not for the faint of heart. I had posted on Facebook not too long ago I guess it was a meme. And it was saying like that marriage is not for the weak. And my mom commented like, nope, sure ain't, because I couldn't do it. That's so true. And I thought that was amazing, for my mom to be in a place where she could be honest. And she could say like, look, Love and relationships, it wasn't for me. Marriage was not for me. Marriage is not for everybody. I'm not saying that you won't find your mate. You will. You might already be with the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. But understand that marriage is an indeed difficult journey, and that you really, 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 really have to love that person and know that together you are better together than you are separate. Sometimes you might be in a bad space and you stick it out for the children. I remember when I was in a bad space with my husband, and I told my grandmama, like, I'm sticking it out for the kids. And she was like, sometimes that's what you got to do. And then she said, and eventually you guys will fall back into love, and things will, things will calm down and things will be better. But right now, like, if you need to tell yourself, I gotta stick this out for my kids, then that's what you tell yourself. You don't just tell yourself and stay that way. You try to work on whatever the shortcomings are, whatever the issues are, which we did, thankfully, and we're still, very happily married. But it don't mean the storm don't come. And so when we're talking about love and relationships, and we're talking about it as grown folks, adults, woo, baby, I could talk for days and days and days about this. And I've only been married 6 years. My best friend Teresa has been married over 10. And so I am sure if I was to get her, an opportunity to pick her brain, or an opportunity for her to share her thoughts, woo, she'd have so much to say. And I can only say, when we're talking about love and relationships, and we're talking about being married in love and relationships, take your time, trust each other, put God first, and understand that love and relationships ebb and flow. I don't care if you from the age of 15 to 21 and you just trying to figure you out. Focus on you. Don't worry about the relationships. Or if you're 21 to 35 or 40, 45, 50, that relationship will come. It will be weak. It will get strong all over again. It will definitely transition and change. But just keep that love and that thought, especially for those of us who've been married and been with somebody for a minute. Keep that at the forefront of everything you do, because it will work out. It will hold on. But keep God first. And so today, when you focus on you, I challenge you to think about your love and your relationship. How could you change it? How could you make it better for either just for yourself, because you're going to focus on yourself, or you and your mate? How could you be better? How could you make a change? How could you do something differently in your relationship to make sure that it is better than it once was? And this is Destiny signing out with today's Daily Diamond. I'll see you guys tomorrow.